Hey guys, how's it going? MC Fire here. Tapping in with another game plan on, this is the Wednesday. We're looking at 326. So markets overall have been kind of slowly grinding higher. We'll bring that up to the front of the class here. And as markets kind of grind higher off this pivot, so a nice juicy opportunity to take the buy, to complete rotation. We want to do that, nice, 36% winner there. Whenever we're doing a fade or reversion to the mean on a weekly, we tend to like to pull it a little early, just in case you had some selling stepping in front of that. Go ahead and take your money off the table before it starts having some resistance, so to speak. Now, I'm fully prepared for this to slightly grind a little bit higher, maybe even get to the 8, go ahead and complete the rest of that rotation, and potentially even get back to the 21 period moving average, right? But all these, positions stacked here, probably some negative off the rip. With them going, when and gapping against them, the potential is really strong for it to push, grind higher. Now, of course, we're not missing that rally if it does happen. We are invested in, said Qs or whatever. And that's really the most beautiful part is options allow you flexibility. So getting this option on the rip up, we get to capitalize on that, and then maybe we can take some potential on the way down. That's a beautiful thing too. CCI did not work in our favor. Full disclosure, CCI did not work in our favor. We did see some buying step in, and then it kind of gapped. So we were like, it is what it is. It happens sometimes in an uptrend. Nice pullback. Could see this actually creates an additional setup for potential gap risk. For it to close the gap to the upside. Probably a better trade there, honestly. From what we were buying, we're buying in the middle of the road. Nice pullback, sets up for the gap to close and to pivot highs there. That's the assumption. You also do get AEP looking pretty uptrend. I don't like the fact that it gapped below this resistance level, but I do like the fact that it gapped with a lot of pressure there. You have the outsized candle right there. We're gonna put the alert there. Outsized candle right there. Tight risk to reward. As you can see, the tighter the risk to reward candle, you do see some very juicy rips, even if it's for one day. So a nice rip from this one, and you're in an uptrend. So we're just gonna go with the flow. It's pretty straightforward there. Buy the dips in an uptrend. Even if you have a little resistance there, that's the only thing I'd watch out for. Also, squeeze setting up pretty nicely too. So if you're a fan of John Carter squeeze, that's setting up. This one's a little wider risk to reward there. When you have to break the highs, and by that point, you're looking at a 1-to-1 to you have to break the high of this candle, I should say, the open, which happened to be the high. If we break that and head north to 218, that's totally feasible, right? 3 ATR. In short succession, I would look for a little bit more downside though. So I will sit on my hands for the Sabriva for sure. And new kids in the block. Yeah, yesterday wasn't necessarily the most crazy trading range of days. Now I do want to bring this guy up to the front of the classroom. One of our personal favorites, BYDDF, to be exact on the ticker. But essentially it's BYD, the electric car company out of China. Charlie Munger, he's passed away, but definitely heavily invested in BYD. And then the Berkshire Hathaway CEO, as everyone knows, Warren Buffett, also liked BYD there for a good minute. They said they had a real problem with BYD as regards to the tariffs and the future of the country. So they kind of scaled back a little bit. But the reality is, this is a winner in shoot or shoot. So, you can't keep a good dog down for long. And the reality is pound for pound, this is probably the best car company in the world right now. And the world needs cheaper cars. So, yeah, the world needs cheaper cars. Nice rip here. Off that is, remember how we were just talking about that tight wrist reward there? Very, very tight candle. Nice rip there that we took. Now, moving forward, as it pulls back a little bit, probably has some more room to pull back. Pulls back in no man's land, right? No, when I say no man's land, I'm looking over here on the weekly. If you're going from highs to like your 8-pair moving average, I'd like to see it at least pull back to the 8, like this. First pullback, right? That's some more room, and then you probably see a little bit of a rally. We're entering the moving average cloud, so if it moves into the moving average cloud, we're in between the 8 and the 21, or even a little bit below that. We kind of like that as a sweet spot to go ahead and swing the bat. So this is a little rougher to pull the trigger on. Now, anything is possible, especially when you have people that make a decision that they're wrong on a volatile day. There's something to bring of note. DJT, with the approval ratings, maybe, we can maybe see a bump, but the approval ratings have been slowly declining, as is the stock for the owner of this stock here, DJT. In a downtrend, definitely a downtrend, slight rally there on the week. And then this is the setup candle that you get for that. Sorry, guys, for all the sniffling. I am slightly under the weather. I have been for, feels like almost 3 weeks, man. The transition between, into spring, essentially, is the roughest for most people. KBA, let's see here. So liking what we're seeing with KBA, nice walk downs for the setup candle. You already get a little bit of play right there. There's your walk downs, boom. And then, so if we get a break of high here, I really like this. You would have one opportunity, second opportunity set in for the break to rip higher. You see this one really punched higher there. We gave you an opportunity to pull at the first sign of danger with the highs there. It just made a nice little dollar move, so to speak. Same thing here. Even though this isn't a downtrend at this point, you're looking at the 21 and you're saying, hey, this 21 is an uptrend. I'm a little bit more hesitant to just fade it. There was a fade play here, but you're looking to potentially continue that buy, especially with potentially if it has a low float and it's very, very cheap stock. So get some nice rips like that, but yeah, going back to the the regular market here, taking a peek at that, what we're doing. We'll also take a look at some SPY as well. Not too optimistic, especially if you get a tight trading range. Could totally look to see some indecision. Could totally look to see that, right? But what would be the hypothesis in the morning? Well, it's pretty straightforward. You got resistance above you. VIX is lowering. There's a rally. So I would expect to see maybe some potential profit taking in the morning from yesterday. Right, nice little rally there. We actually took some profits there. So if you didn't take profits yesterday and you're starting to see it pull back, you might gonna want to take your money off the table today, kind of get out in front of anything in the resistance. After some profit taking, you could potentially see a setup, maybe a buy. We would look to see something bounce off of the 2 standard deviations, and then maybe rotate back up for some decision. Of course, as a guess, anything can really happen. Just one of those things. So that's for the Qs. I'm not seeing too much difference on the SPY. There's no real divergence here. It's just, cookie cutter. Kind of went sideways yesterday, which can be good. So maybe get some profit taking on the SPY as well, and go from there. Right, this 2-minute chart, 10-minute chart, and if we get a pullback to 2 standard deviations on the downside, there's your VWAP right there. 2 standard deviations, and then maybe see a setup candle that could be pretty sweet. Stuff like this, right? Coming in a VWAP, nice red juicy candle, followed on by buyers stepping in with volume, and then bam, just kind of take a couple of cents there. And that's something that we would like, or even, something like this. Selling off 2 standard deviations, see buyers want to step in, retest of that VWAP test, that'd be nice. Nothing crazy, for sure. Nothing crazy. And I'll say that we could kind of take a look at where the SPY is overall. So the SPY overall is grinding higher, as is the Qs. I think relative strength though on the move up. And down, actually. The Qs are going to be a lot more volatile than the SPY is. So it's going to get hit heavier on the down days percentage-wise, and the Qs are going to get hit heavier on the up days percentage-wise as well. But you're seeing the SPY kind of in no man's land, so to speak. It did pop on the gap. It did pop outside of this range. We kind of marked that in purple. For this line, popped outside of that range, and then it's trading potentially to another resistance level. And then we've got one marked out in yellow. That was another, kind of trading range that we saw developing there on that week. And price action on the daily, a lot of times you'll see it and you'll dissect it and be like, okay, this is a decent trading range. So hopefully we can get into back up to that. Like I was saying, above the 8-pair moving average into the moving average cloud. That would be really, really nice between the 8 and the 21, right? And as we see the 21 kind of roll over to the downside, but then starting to roll back to the upside, that's kind of what you want to see. Unbalanced volume is still good. So on buying days, people are stepping in and stuff like that. That's what we want to see there. We can also take a look at one of the other things that we like. GC, gold futures. Gotta love it. Bring that to the front of the classroom here. Right. Setting up, looking like it wants to peekaboo back to highs. Nice tap there. This has been a narrative that we've been involved in for, a good minute. And it's pretty straightforward. The Fed has already kind of said that they're okay with inflation in so many words, if you really understand. They say they want to hit a 2% inflation target, but will cut rates, which means that they're willing to take the pressure off businesses to cut rates. Also, you have to think about the Fed needing to, well, not the Fed, but really our government needing to refinance its debt. So just like a personal, debt you have for your house or for your car, something like that, the interest rate's high. When the interest rates come down, refinancing is a good way to lower your payments. And the interest on the U.S. debt is extremely high, right? More interest on the paid for the debt than some people say our defense budget. And I'm inclined to believe that is a lot of money. But, when you got a lot of debt, then, yeah, but yeah, GC kind of grinding higher. Let's take a look at silver here. As we peekaboo over to some of these things, I just want you guys to keep in mind the narrative isn't necessarily over. So if you're seeing it at the highs, it's like, why can't if it pull the trigger now? No, that's fine. And I'm definitely going to be a person that would say pullbacks are your friends in uptrends. So kind of wait for those pullbacks. They do happen. Don't let FOMO get the best of you. There is sometimes if you narrow down the time frame, you can kind of see. Oh, okay, I could take a buy trigger here, and if it develops and keeps going, then I'll hold it for a higher time frame. So you get to work up, but don't work down. Working up kind of works like if the 30-minute transitions to a daily move and that daily move manifests, then that now becomes a daily trigger, right? Trigger to exit or take profit, roll, make a decision, whatever you have. But it doesn't work the other way, right? I don't have a weekly play that I'm looking for a 30-minute, execution as it moves forward. There's always work up, right? So you should see a play up, right? You see a play up on a higher time frame, maybe a weekly or daily. Then zoom down for a good entry onto the 2 minute, 1 minute, 5 minute, 30 minutes in some cases. And then as you get that entry, have it manifest on the weekly, right? Because you're looking for the play on the weekly. So your risk to reward is defined via a weekly. But if you want like the absolute prime entry to maximize edge, then you can come down to the daily and be like, I'm waiting for a buy. Come down to the 2 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, whatever, and then look for that, potential buy trigger even within the day for profit maximization, so to speak. You're getting that risk to reward really hammered in there. That would be ideal. So, I'm looking at Palantir here, kind of liking what we're seeing with the stock. Because, as you come down into the moving average cloud, we kind of averaged out really at the high, really good stuff there. And then we're looking to kind of just average back in, even if we're willing to accept some more risk lower, actually, believe it or not. Nice squeeze here, could fire off. So I could expect the next couple of days, especially with my analysis of the market might be a little tight, that this wouldn't be any different, right? Checking Palantir out. Shout out to good old Palantir. Something also we haven't talked about is good old Robinhood, kind of giving a setup candle back here and ripping against it. Now, it wasn't in the time frame we like, but it did break the resistance to make the move for the gap. So there's some gap risk on Robinhood, but it's produced some straightforward price action here. Setup candle here, setup candle here. Pretty nice. Really nasty setup candle here. That's dirty work right there. Nice rip there. When I see stuff like this, I'm like, yeah, it's probably a gap and go. You do get a slight half fill though. Something to keep in mind. Even if you're like a 2-bar professional, you can say your stop being right here. It's a low. You go to the left and then one down. You don't get stopped out. This would have worked out pretty nicely as well. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. This makes sense. Do I buy this before earnings? Probably not. Maybe if earnings in the rearview mirror, you see this red bar ignored. Yeah, probably. But yeah, I was liking the rally in Hood, and shout out to Hood. We put it on the new kids and futures. Actually, we'll go ahead and change that to the in plays, new kids plays. Let's see if there's anything developed there. Yeah, BYD, Carvana. Cards of the future, downtrend. This is pretty sweet though. If you see that, there's going to be some pressure. Market opens at about 2 minutes, excuse me. You see some pressure as we rally here, and then you see some volume step in to the downside there, which is what you would expect to see on a new downtrend. Rip to the downside, nice retest. Kind of watch that for some potential more downside. Maybe we can get a nice setup candle and rip to pivot lows, right? Ideally. So that could happen. And then, oh no. Okay, sweet. You guys are back. I guess we dropped out. OPS kind of threw us for a loop, but we're back. All right, shout out to you guys for sticking with us for the 5-second delay, so to speak. But yeah, Carvana definitely looking to fade, or not fade, but go along with the trend here, which is to the downside, and watch that play out. All right, we're gonna switch back over to the Qs, and let's see where we're at right now. Well, there's some of the selling stepping in that we were talking about. We're gonna actually get our 2-minute chart to 2-minute chart here. Don't want to miss our open. Looking at other stuff. So you get some selling at the bottom of the range. Cool. Not selling. So buyer stepping right there. Boop. This will slap to the upside. So I'll expect to see a little bit more selling though. Where would it stop? You got pivot right here all day. Right, you see that? I didn't mark it, but it's there. Some other symbols, or let's see what that was. Yeah, S-bull on the day, removed from that. Okay, no worries. Yeah, but so what I say, this level right here, I can mark it out for you, bring it to the front of the classroom, make it easy. I'll put it in like purple or something. We'll do gold. Yeah, we'll do gold. The gold and mentally, a purple is for like a lot of times by butterflies. You got ABGO. Ooh, interesting. And the DJT stock also. Gonna stick here for a little bit though. So we want to see how this Q setup plays out. What our morning price action is going to be. So we kind of like to see this in the morning. Like I was saying, a little bit of a sell-off potentially, and then you see guys step in with volume at around 2 standard deviations. Not too bad. Maybe you can get a close, some fall through there, and then maybe tap that high there. Just kind of let this puppy close and see what we get. So nice close there, follow through there, boom. Tapping VWAP. Not too bad at all. You could almost see that and say, if we're on a trading platform that we like for speed and aggression, like NinjaTrader, Sierra Charts, Futures platform is actually pretty good as well. From what I've seen, getting that set up, what you'll see is, you can take that buy at 2 standard deviations, which you see volume kind of step in there, boom, and then nice to slap up to VWAP. Setting up to be potentially a green bar ignored. We're just going to trade what we see. And yeah, that green bar ignored is a very, very powerful play, especially coming off of VWAP. You almost take that to the downside. Be marked above. So yeah, definitely a setup to the downside. There's probably some more downside here as well. So downside, down to the level. Could see that definitely happening for sure. And what would be the next level below that? If you're just looking right here to the immediate left, you kind of just profile it out, right? Boom. There you go. Pretty straightforward. Put the lines ahead of it. So yeah, the setup right now that we've seen is red step in, greens, and then immediately with the outside candle there, green bar ignored. Definitely sets the tone for some potential selling on the day. Definitely sets the tone, especially if you think we like setups like that. Green bar ignored, red bar ignored. It'd be nice to be patient though. Let the trading range kind of set up. Let all the franticness kind of play out. Remember, trading is kind of a game of patience. Some plays they get close to the wire and then they rip, and then some plays get stopped out. But nobody has a crystal ball at the end of the day. Not even me. So we wait. What are we waiting to see? We're essentially waiting to see, does it come back and test these rotational zones? Does it break them? We're also waiting so it can stretch out the trading range. There's a tight trading from the yellow to yellow, tight trading range. So ideally we would want to have that widen out a little bit. Right? Maybe we get a tap of this resistance level, and then we see some potential buyer step in. Oh, nice. Love it. We don't kind of know when it's going to happen is what I mean. So like if this thing sells off, which it already started to do, I'm a little bit more bullish on this play, on the whole rally. Like let's go bring that to the front of the classroom. So I'm still bullish technically. I think it has a little bit more room to the upside, but you're going to run into some resistance as you approach this level. That's kind of when we stepped out of that play. There. Now this is looking juicy. If you can get a lot of buying here, and then a red bar ignored here, and then like this sets in, and then we get above that, I would want to take that. That would be what we would be looking for the buy. It's a VWAP fight here going on. Whoever's buying is put their foot on the gas, and this would be a good opportunity to like, hey, is there absorption happening? What's the deal? Candle closes in 10 seconds. We'll see. If we get a nice doji at VWAP, that it could be murder she wrote, man. Go ahead and put an alert to see if it breaks highs. Yeah, boom. So there's a candle. There's it. So if we were on a professional platform, we're not on one of those, but we will be soon. We'd be on an entry right there, boom. Maybe stop out right there, and then looking to take it to standard deviations. Of course, what's our stop? Right here. 492. Holds green, VWAP's curling up. Our analysis was the pullback, see some volume, you get some fighting 2 standard deviations is where we would want to take that play off. Close, no cigar. Not yet, anyways. We just be patient. So family's coming in town next week, which is awesome. And once they leave, I'll definitely look into get the new trading platform for like day trading and test that out, and kind of run back testing scenarios on those. I don't think you could do back testing. I think you could do some back testing on here, but you don't have any tick data. That's the really bad part. But let's say if you had a 1-to-1 risk, I mean, that was pretty wide. No, it's not exactly. Yeah, you almost need a 2 standard deviations to get that one. We'll just let this kind of play out and see if buyers want to buy, if we were right or wrong. Just being patient here. Watching price action like paint dry. Now, I kind of don't like the way these wicks are sitting up here at the highs here. You could almost say, okay, well, neutral, right? Very, very neutral. Now, but we told you that it was going to be a little neutral. So this is not a surprise. It's going to be patient. But we're still, pushing from highs and kind of peeling off to the downside. So rips are danger areas for us, technically. But if we took a buy there for it to get up to 2 standard deviations, our stop would be the same right there. Yeah, probably looks like stopped out. If we were trading this with speed, probably would have get stopped out. So we'll just watch, see. The moving average is still green. If buyers liked stepping in before, maybe they'll step in again. But they might have exhausted their push there and took their money off the table for that quick rotation. Yep, that would have been it. So it would have been a stop out there. Little push up, but nothing to write home about. Nice risk to reward with a stop. So where do you go from here? We just watch, wait and see. Retest that low there. Potentially retest that low. Or you get another setup candle at VWAP. But it could very well just tread sideways. That's been kind of the theme this morning, is it could potentially just tread sideways, mill around, not really give a direction. Yeah, so we just getting the retest there at the low, potentially. Didn't get all the way down there. Wait and see. But let's check out what we got on the message board, since we would have got stopped out. You've got ASML. ASML is a name we haven't seen in a little bit. And AEP. Let's look at the AEP because we just put that. And it's to the upside too, being a contrarian. Yeah. So for this one, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and peel off. I want to go ahead and take this buy. I'm liking what I see. If it's up in a downtrend with this tight risk to reward, I'm gonna go ahead and take that buy. But you guys have been awesome, and I appreciate you tapping in with me on this quick live, just to see how we would trade that that Q in the morning when it got to stop out. We could watch for the rest of the day. My hippo for the rest of the day is we actually grind a little lower, test this 490 level, and then maybe see reaction off that. That's my hippo for the day. But really, all in all, we just chop around. Low here, high here. That's where the chop's going to be. And, you know, we really don't make, you know, snarl. We don't do anything like this, right? Just directional. We're probably just going to chop around in the gas session. And that's all. That's okay with me, right? Okay with me. We already made our money on the play here. Reversion to the mean, which kind of made more sense. Set up candle here, crossed above it, stop out at the low, and then it pushed and grind higher. So grind higher, reverse to the mean there. Love to see it. Yeah, love to see it. Really love to see it. So thank you guys. We're gonna go get that AEP, and then we'll tap in with you guys later. Have a good day, and goodbye.